All right, I found what I was looking for. Really quick, if you guys want to support, clanthemerchfan.com, chat, lick that like button. Link in the description if you guys want to support the channel. Clanthemerchfan.com or become a patron and YouTube member, only $2 per month. Links in the description. All right, here it is. Found it. Tony Parker and Mike Brown. So apparently your boy Mike Brown has some things to say about Tony P. All right. So he said he was head and shoulders above everyone else. Kings Mike Brown dishes on scouting Spurs legend. So I definitely want to see what he has to say here. I have not read any of this. So let's see. So this is him talking to Sports Kita. And he says, I ranted and raved about him to Pop. Wait a minute. Busy schedule and different, maybe both. After watching Parker up close, however, former Spurs assistant Mike Brown called Popovich and projected Parker will become the franchise's star point guard for the next 15 years. I didn't know this, guys. My history is terrible. I had no idea. Okay, and I make fun of Mike Brown all the time. All right, this is what he had to say. I ranted and raved about him to Pop. The things that he was able to do at such a young age, it just blew me away. The prediction turned out correct after the Spurs selected the French phenom at number 28 in the 2001 NBA draft. Not only did Parker help the Spurs win 3 of their 5 NBA titles in the last 2 decades, he will become... Wait. What do you mean 3? He helped us win 4. Am I tripping? What do they mean? Are they saying he was like trash in 2014? I mean, he wasn't like the best, but like he contributed. Am I tripping here? Why does it say that? 3 of their 5. What is it talking about? Oh. They're talking about, maybe they're saying 2003. He won 4. Yeah, he did, but maybe they're talking about in 2003 because Parker was like a role player in 2003. But still, he was a good role player. I mean, wasn't he like the second highest scoring player on that team? Was he? Hold on, I'm gonna look this up. Spurs 2003 season leaders, maybe. Spurs, let's see. 2003. Yeah, he was the second best player on the team. I mean, he was a role player, but he was a good role player. I would say he contributed. I don't know. That's kind of weird. Brown, who is currently entering his 2nd season as a Kings head coach, spoke to Sports Kita about how Parker quickly changed the Spurs' impressions of him during pre-draft workouts. His initial struggles was fitting in with the teammates and more. Let's see. Oh boy. We don't have a video. Okay. All right, here we go. What were your initial impressions of Tony Parker when you first saw him play, and what was the setting? The first time I saw him play was when our front office, led by RC Buford, had us work him out at the pre-draft. I'm not reading all this. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see. I'm just going to skim through and see what I take from it. He didn't have a medium game. He had put him through some drills, and we just didn't know what he would bring to the table. We all know he struggled, so that's what he's saying. We thought he would be in the top 10 after that workout, so on draft night, we tried desperately to trade up to get him. We obviously didn't have success, and we were floored when he fell to us at number 28. We were shocked. Can I say something? Is this a continuous theme? Or maybe this happens. I mean, it's not many teams that I see like during the draft actually trade up. Does this just happen to us? Or is it like many teams that try to trade up? Because it's like every season the Spurs attempt to trade up and they can't trade up, but then they end up getting the player they wanted anyway. Like that happens like way too often. I don't know what it is. It just happened with like, well, no, they didn't want to trade up for Keldon, I don't think. But they were shocked that they got Keldon. Malachi, they were shocked that they got Malachi. I don't know. This seems like this happens a lot. And they never trade up. We never get to trade up. Like, it's like, I guess it's rare for any team, but I don't know. but it seems like this happens every year. Anyways, what were the improvements that jumped out to you? I knew his speed was going to be his bread and butter. I didn't know anyone that had that burst that he had, especially in the open court. He developed a floater off of 2 feet. I just let him go. I felt like he was ready to take on a big role, even as a rookie. I pushed him to let loose and play to his strengths. We developed a bond because of it. Hold on. I want to show you guys something. Put it in context how good Tony Parker actually was. Let's see here. Here we go. Yeah, look at this. Absolutely ridiculous. So Hoop Venue here says Tony Parker might go down as one of the most underrated players in NBA history. In 2008-2009 season, he landed second in the NBA with 8.7 shots attempt at the rim every 75 possessions. Now, this is what's insane. For reference on how ridiculous that mark is, 01 Shaq attempted 8.8, 06 Wade 7.6, and 13 LeBron 7.4. Not only was he a historically good slashing point guard, but legitimately one of the best players we've ever seen at getting to the rim while converting in a wide variety of ways at an incredibly efficient 63.3%. Just absolutely ridiculous. His 26 points, 7.5 ranked 6th in the NBA, ahead of names like Carmelo Anthony, Brandon Roy, and Kevin Durant on efficiency more than 1% ahead of the league average. On top of that, he also recorded 8.2 assists, 11th in the NBA, and ahead of guys like LeBron and Wade, clearly capable of serving as a high-level led playmaker with volume creation. The Spurs had a 112.2 offensive rating with Parker on the floor and a 102.7 with him off of the floor, a 9.5 swing. And in the 611 minutes Parker played without Tim Duncan as a clear offensive focal point, he averaged per 75, 33 points, 8.9 assists, 3.2 turnovers, 55% true shooting percentage, 11.3 rim field goal attempts. Come on, truly an underrated piece of one of NBA's history's greatest dynasties and one of the best drivers of the basketball we'll ever see. Absolutely ridiculous that he doesn't get the love that he deserves. Anyways, moving on. SE. Tony wrote in his book that Pop didn't go to his summer league debut, but that you told Pop we found our point guard for the next 15 years. What do you call about that? He didn't? I can't quite remember, but I was extremely excited about it. I ranted and raved about him to Pop. The thing that he was able to do at such a young age, it just blew me away. What was Pop's reaction? I don't remember his specific reaction, but I know as a staff that we were all blown away with Parker's ability and that we were able to get him so late in the draft. How did you see Tony adjust to the NBA and the possibility that the Spurs would later sign Jason Kidd as a free agent at his expense? Tony was fantastic from day one. The only thing that struggled with was that we weren't originally a team that moved the basketball. The ball movement and body movement were great, but it only stuck when it went to Tim Duncan's hands. That's what I kept telling people, bro. Everyone wants to say like, oh, Tim Duncan, he benefited from the system. Tim Duncan was the system for a big chunk of his career. He was the system. It was give it to Tim Duncan and get out the way. This is a very hard pill to swallow, okay? I understand that. It's a very hard pill to swallow. But Tim Duncan would have won a championship no matter where he went. That's just facts. Now, as far as Tim Duncan creating a dynasty, I don't think he would have done that like without Pop. Like he would have needed a coach like Pop to create a whole dynasty, right? But like for him to win a championship, I truly do believe Tim Duncan would have done that regardless, no matter where he went. But moving on, let's see. What are the specific turning points for that work? Oh, we don't care about this, do we? Speedy Claxton played really well for us. Man, I swear to God. Do you guys know how often Steven Jackson brings up Speedy Claxton? I mean, he brings him up so often. He's like, everyone talks about Tony, but Speedy Claxton saved us. And Speedy Claxton, a really good player, he did. But like, good God, man. It's like Steven Jackson just takes that 1 year and just judges Tony Parker's entire career from it. I don't know. Tony Parker is the best under the basket finisher, in my opinion. He's so good, dude. He's so good. His spin move is absolutely ridiculous. Everyone brings up his float game, which, yeah, it was a hallmark of his career. But like, geez, man, his spins are just nasty. Anyways, that's good stuff. I love when we get praise, and it's well deserved. Jackson has real hate for Parker and Manu. He really does, because he thought he was better, but he wasn't. Tony Parker was better. He averaged more points than him. He was better. He averaged more points than you, more assists than you. What else did he do better than you? He had a higher 3-point percentage than you. He had a higher field goal percentage than you too. Yeah, he's just better. He's just better than you. Yeah, I don't know. Good stuff.